Well, here is the limited service assistance page that we're going to take a look at here. And this relates to how Video FSBO can put you in contact with an authorized and licensed Video FSBO tech-savvy limited services agent who will be able to happily assist you according to the menu of services. How this relates is that if you list your property with Video FSBO, this system is going to use your videos and your description of your property to generate leads and reports relative to leads and notifications. Those are items that you can go ahead and take, and you can work with those leads with your own attorney. You can work with your leads and your accountant and other advisors or whatever you want to try to put a deal together and make something happen. Or what you can do is work with a limited services agent who would do something, for instance, like negotiate the deal for you, come to terms and conditions, or at least a price that is acceptable to you and also the buyer, and negotiate that in your best interest. Do that for 1%. From there, once the price is decided upon, it has to all be put in writing, and approvals need to be granted both by yourself and by the buyer with signatures and initials, and you could have a limited services agent do that, for instance, for you for 1%. And then once those two things produce a purchase agreement at a price that's negotiated in your best interest, then you could have, for another 1%, the agent orchestrate the closing for you, work with the title company, work with your attorney, work with the inspections, organize all of that work for you, and still you would only end up with a 3% fee, a 3% commission, assuming that the buyer is located for you by this system. And if any buyers come in that are interested in your property and they have a buyer's agent that they have hired, that's fine. They, as buyers, can pay them. The thing is sellers in today's economy can't afford the luxury of paying 3% to afford a buyer somebody to negotiate in the buyer's best interest. Why don't you, as a seller, pay for your representation and have the buyer pay for someone to represent their best interest? Now, for instance, if you were willing to do this and have someone be your listing agent in assisting you in your for sale by owner efforts, then for 4% you could literally list your property with a video iCast agent who would give you full MLS services, everything that you desire and need, and be willing to pay 2%, half of the 4%, pay 2% to a sub-agent of the seller. So pay another person that is working in your best interest as seller as a sub-agent to the limited services agent that's getting a 4% commission, listing commission. He's giving 2% to a sub-agent of you rather than paying 3% to an out-and-out agent of the person on the other side of the table from you. So I just don't understand how buyers and buyers agents think that sellers can just continue to fund the luxury of representation for the buyers. Buyers need to understand that when they hire a buyer broker, they need to be willing to pay that buyer broker to do these things for them, or they need to work directly with agents of the seller and have their attorneys and other people negotiate on their best interest. So this is a little bit of a wake-up call for buyers in the fact that sellers just cannot afford or justify paying for opposing people's counsel. What we can do is, if you are interested in having someone assist you in limited services, licensed services, but limited services, you just contact us, contact the system, and find an agent within the system that is able to help you in these limited services areas and willing to charge you the limited fees, not full traditional commission fees as so often charged.